Professional dancers from every genre, including ballroom dance, do special things to take care of our feet because our career is totally reliant on them. And long before I turned pro, my teachers warned me, they kind of anticipated, having trained all the top dancers in the US, that all of us were at some point going to train and turn pro, that hurting and injured feet are part of the career. And for many people, they are, regardless of how they care for their feet. But there are some things we do to help prevent these things from happening out of the chute. And so firstly, I have not done this, but I have seen many of my coaches over the years do this. They take like a rubber ball about yay big, slight compression to it, and they roll it under their bare feet or their foot with a sock to kind of massage the bottom of the foot. This is especially helpful actually if you are dancing on a non-sprung floor. So depending on the studio and the setting you're dancing in, a good dance floor is going to have some spring to it. They'll actually have like a cushion built underneath of the boards. But you know what? Many venues don't. And it is straight up beautiful hardwood flooring on a concrete floor. And I gotta tell you guys, I have had to do this for visiting coaching. You pound on those bad boys 12 hours a day and your feet hurt. Oh my heavens. It's almost like the bones on the bottom and the soles of your feet are almost bruised. Maybe they are. I'm no doctor, but the pain it's bad. Okay, number 2. Almost all of us, I'm hard pressed to even think of an exception, and unless we are in a competition or at a competition, even if we're in the audience, and we will dress up and wear heels, but I'm talking about after you're done teaching, going shopping, going out, whatever. It is tennis shoes or flat-soled shoes. In my case, I like tennis shoes or boots, but I have seen young dancers make this mistake just because, I mean, obviously a heel is going to make your leg look prettier and you'll be taller. And at least from the United States where I'm kind of broadcasting from, that's currently kind of the beauty trend. These things change over time, but that's in right now. And no one has legs naturally like Barbie. It doesn't exist. Maybe if you're a Kardashian, but I certainly don't. But anyway, I made this mistake as well early on in my career, and I would wear really high heels outside of dance training. Big, big, big mistake, guys. I actually developed arthritis in my very early 20s and bone spurs to the point that I believe full-heartedly not only would I have to, not turn pro, I thought it was going to prematurely end my amateur competitive career in ballroom dance. And I do have some other videos on how I took care of that specifically. I'll share a link in the description below if you're more interested in kind of more about my own story. Next up, every dancer I know pays attention to their body. So if something hurts, we don't ignore it. And I had to learn this the hard way early on in my professional career. My partner, he's not dancing anymore, so no one even knows who this guy is, but he didn't like teaching larger people, so he would book them with me. And you guys, I'm sure if you've seen my dance videos, you know I'm not a big lady. I'm quite small. I love dancing with someone of any size, but I did have a pretty large lady. I mean, like over 6 feet, very muscular, big lady. I had a blast dancing with her, but we were doing quick step, we were doing kicks, and my bottom, like my toe really started to hurt in this lesson. I'm like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm tough, I'm an athlete. Ooh, lordy, lordy, big mistake. I'm doing a little like Charleston kick, and I feel like this, I don't know, a snap with a knife going through my foot. I'm like, what? So I don't know if I hobbled through the lesson. I don't even remember how that lesson ended, but I did go right to the hospital, and sure enough, I broke my foot. And I believe it was called a contusion fracture, where the muscles, he said this is very common in any professional dancer. The muscles in your feet become so strong that they literally can pull the bone apart. And I just went in. I had a professional, we had been hired to do a show that night, guys. And so I went in and I was just like, I really hurt my foot when I was teaching. Can I just get some painkillers? I got to roll. And they're like, that's not how medicine works. And they sent me to the x-ray. So the doctor comes back in and he looks at that thing for 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Oh, here's your problem. That's you broke your foot. So guys, I turned what should have been, a few days recovery time, with a small, hairline fracture, into weeks of having to hobble around. Although I did teach, I had to wear this, like not a cast, but like a big old booty that my foot and my leg were strapped into. And you know what? Bless my students for putting up with me. They didn't seem to mind, but when I dance, I want to dance, I don't want to like hobble on one leg and just, manhandle through my parts. So anyway, lesson learned. And if I feel anything hurt, I take care of it. I'll take off a few days. If that doesn't work, I'm at the doctor having that thing fixed. Your body has a miraculous ability to heal itself if you let it. Okay. Next thing, one of my students actually recommended to me, though I have, now that I know what I'm doing, I've seen this on some other professional dancers. The first sign of bunions or bunionettes. So it's like if this is your foot, that little like nubby part that sticks out on the inside, if you get a bigger bump there where the bone grows, out, and especially challenging for dancers who wear high heels, because the way that kind of jams your toe in there, this is just a cost of doing the job. And I was developing what's called bunionettes, which is on the opposite little nubby side. Quite painful, because your foot's getting like permanently misshapen, but then it's even worse because it's rubbing on the sides of your shoes. So anyway, we have what's called, and you might not have heard this before, these are called toe shoes. So do you see how like each little toe has its own little kind of mitten it fits into, kind of like shoe gloves. Now guys, I know they're real ugly. They're an eyesore, I admit, but they work miracles. And so I was getting them pretty bad. If they flare up, it's the second I get a little twinge, I put these on and in a few days, gone, and I'm good for months. So highly recommend toe shoes. This particular brand is called Vibram, but they do sell them in a wide variety of brands. They're a little spendy, so you know what? Since you're probably not wearing these, to the Oscars for fashion purposes, just for function and to get a pair to wear every once in a while, because that's all I do. It's actually quite rare, that I do use them. You can get them on eBay, I'm sure, for relatively cheap, okay? Next up, for ongoing problems that are already kind of beyond body self-repair, I have seen a number of things that can ameliorate the symptoms but not take them away. And mercifully, my body has not deteriorated to this point, and I don't know how I have dodged this bullet. I feel like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, like dodging these bullets. I'm like, wow, how did I make it this far and not have these problems? But I had a partner who was quite a bit older than me, professional partner, loved dancing with him, but he had pretty severe arthritis in his knees and his feet. And so he had to go in for some sort of steroid, like literally putting a needle in the bottom of his feet to make him able to dance. Oh, but you know what? It worked. And he's not the only one I've heard of doing this. I've also heard good things about a supplement called chondroitin. I'm not personally recommending it because I know it's not like an FDA approved medication, but I can just say anecdotally, I have heard good feedback from other teachers. So might be something worth trying, or at least asking your doctor about. Okay, guys. I also know professional dancers who have been debilitated to the point with foot injuries that they can no longer teach. So, and in all of those cases, they really regret all these things that I've mentioned. And one more thing would be, and again, many pro dancers, once they retire, have a hard time with this because they restricted their diet so much, going up through the comp ranks. But if you can manage to eat a healthy diet and stay slimmer, that will exponentially decrease the pounds of pressure on your joints, especially when you're dancing, especially if you compete or focus a lot, teach a lot of Latin. I don't teach a ton of Latin, but some weeks that's just what I end up doing. And honestly, guys, even after a week of pounding it, my joints hurt. So anyway, hope that's been interesting and helpful. And guys, take care of your feet as best you can because God only gave you 2 of them. And I want you to have a long and joyful and amazing, beautiful dance career, okay? So I look forward to seeing you first thing in the morning for another all things ballroom dance topic. So hit subscribe if you're interested in that stuff. Also, I'm not an influencer. I hear there's like a little bell button you can push if you want to receive a notification on your phone that says, Sunny's topic today is how do I stand out on the comp floor or something like that. It doesn't automatically pop up the YouTube or show the video, but at least you'll get like a little window that says, okay, Sunny just posted this topic today. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you first thing in the morning. Happy dancing, guys. Bye.